Look, we're very grateful on behalf of Port supporters that David Koch has made himself available. Very, very busy, and at the last minute he did. He's the president of the Port Adelaide Footy Club, and he joins us now. Kochie, thanks for your time.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Firstly, were you surprised your model was knocked back by the Commission?
No, we weren't surprised. Disappointed all the same, but I think the feedback was pretty loud and clear that they weren't going to have a bar of it. We were disappointed. We think we deserve a fair bit more respect as one of the foundation clubs of South Australian footy, and what we've put into grassroots footy and what we've developed here in the state. We didn't think it was too big an ask to respect that history going forward, and that we could play our AFL players. You know, we've already got 5 of them, 5-6 of them playing in the Magpies, to use the Magpies as our reserves team, and to be able to continue the junior structure which we've had forever and ever, and sort of clubs like Collingwood are now starting to establish. So, you know, at a time when other clubs, AFL clubs, actually see it as a benefit, we're asked to cut back our commitment to grassroots and junior footy.
So you're going to hold your ground as a board and as a club and keep the status quo. You're going to put heritage in front of your senior coach, Ken Hinkley, getting a reserves team.
Look, we obviously will look at other avenues. As I said, we've got 6 players in the Magpies now, probably another 8, 9, 10 spread through other SANFL clubs. We'd love them all to be together. We've been told by the SANFL directors that no, that's not possible. And you know, we'll look at other options, other plan Bs, to see if there's a better alternative. But the Magpies are part of South Australian footy history, and we don't think that they should be decimated. And look, Ken understands. And you know, he's spoken to you guys a lot during the season. You would be able to get a fix on what sort of bloke he is. The number of you've got to know him, and he is a bloke that's very values driven. Yes, he's competitive. He understands that you just can't give in and destroy a club of where we come from, because that's our heart and soul. Whether you love us or hate us, you know, that's our traditions and heritage sets us apart from most other clubs, and you just don't give that up on a whim.
Because you're not losing. I mean, that's etched in stone. That's history. You're never going to give up Port Adelaide Magpies' proud history. But surely it's about the now and the future. You respect your history, but you cannot be anchored by it. Surely.
But why can't you have both? What's so wrong with us having our AFL players in the Magpies side?
Nothing, but it's the other.
And what's so wrong with having junior academies? Let me start with that. What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, Kochie, but it's not the model. It's not
devastating with it.
Yeah.
And so why get rid of it? Is it vindictiveness? Is it spitefulness?
But everybody's got rid of it, Kochie. That's the model. Is everybody's got rid of it. No one's got it.
No, they haven't.
None of the AFL clubs don't have the.
The Collingwoods of the world are starting to put it into place. You know, we're ahead of our time, and other AFL clubs are starting to establish that. I think Essendon's doing it as well. Collingwood's certainly starting 18s and 16s, and we're saying, well, no, you can now get rid of it. Even though other AFL clubs are now seeing the benefit of it. So we've had the vision. And now we're going to have it dismantled. And does it make it, when you look at it, bottom line, does it make any difference to anybody?
Well, it obviously does.
Outside of us, does it make much difference to anyone?
Well, it obviously makes a difference, because you wouldn't be pushing for something if it didn't make a difference.
To anybody else. Why are they so anti about it? Why?
Well, they could argue the same with you. Why are you being so driven by it? Surely, if you put an argument against, there's an argument, or for, there's an argument against as well that's equally as strong.
What is the argument against?
Well, their argument is against why. Your argument is, why have a 16s and 8? Because there's no relevance to the power. I mean, they still got to go into a national draft.
But that's our...
And AFL clubs have got this.
But that's what we've been doing forever. So you're saying, okay, and what AFL clubs often get accused of being selfish and not caring about community, not really caring about junior footy, only selfishly focusing on themselves. So you're saying because we don't do that, we should be.
Well, I would have thought AFL clubs do a lot for local footy.
On being selfish. But how is that an argument?
But Kochie, there's no point arguing about it because it's not going to happen. I need to move on. Will you allow your members in the next 10 days, because that's when the directors are going to get together and vote, to vote on this? Will you give your members a chance to have a say on whether what you want to do with your executive team and your board is the right way?
I would consider that. The overwhelming sort of response we've had is good on you for doing it. I don't think I have had one social media comment that says, mate, you're an idiot, forget South Australian footy, forget junior footy, just cut them loose. I don't think... I can honestly say, and I'm pretty active on social media, I don't think I've had one person say that. Look, if people want to contact me and push that case, if the members say,
go to vote,
we think you've got it completely wrong, absolutely we'll listen.
Well, a vote would do that. The other one, Kochie, do you trust the SANFL Commission, the league directors, that they have your club's best interests at heart?
I would hope so, considering they currently own us.
You sound like you've got reservations. You might think that there's still
a... I would be disappointed if they didn't, but I think given a number of instances, footy politics would say, no, well, one footy league club director actually fronted me at the sample lunch that I spoke at the other week and said, look, you'll never get anything through me because of what you did in 1990.
So you still think a lot of them have chips on their shoulders?
Yes.
So what now, Kochie? So you stick to your guns, you fight the fight. I mean, what's the next move for the Port Adelaide Footy Club?
Well, the next move is exactly what we've said a number of times, that we will stick with the status quo. And we will work towards being able to give Ken Hinkley and the football department what they want in terms of a viable alternative to keeping our AFL players together. And we'll look at all the options on that, and we have to. But we're determined that the Magpies stay as an entity and a full entity, nothing cut back, not a Magpies light version, but a traditional Magpies position in South Australian footy for the future.
What happens in 2014 when you face the same decision with the SANFL and all bets are off? Because there's no guarantee that in 2015 you'll be in the SANFL.
Well, that's their decision. If you
want blood on somebody else's hands, you don't want it on yours. Is that it?
If the SANFL want to boot us out of the competition, we'll obviously fight that. That's beyond our control.
But you want someone else to be the bad boy. Is that the crux of this? That you don't want to be seen to be the bad boy?
Not.
You want somebody else to do the dirty work?
Absolutely not. Hang on.
Well, this is a tough...
If we wanted somebody else to do the dirty work, we would have accepted a Crows model. We're committed... they're about to go into about to sign a 3-year television deal with Channel 7 that's predicated on Port Adelaide being in the local league. I would think they'd find it very difficult to pull us out in 2015.
Kochie, excuse my ignorance with all of it, but I think you can still have a presence in the SANFL, and those of us that love playing against the Magpies and growing up with them in our comp want them in there forever, amen. We do. Make no mistake. And you can still have it. Well, Kochie, you can still wear your jumper and your Magpie on the left chest in the SANFL with all your players playing in that jumper.
What have you got against us investing extra money in grassroots footy
nothing.
In South Australia?
Kochie, nothing. But that model's not going to get up.
I know. But that's the issue. No one can give me an argument of why we shouldn't.
Okay, well, Kochie...
Except maybe a few people who've got a set against the club.
Oh, you can't roll that one out. So you still think there's grudges against you guys for the 1990 treachery that Port Magpies inflicted on them all those years ago? You truly think those commissioners and those league directors think like that?
I know one absolutely does, because he's told me. You're the one that asked me if I thought there was anyone who still carried a chip on their shoulder from it. And one has actually told me. And actually told me in those words.
Okay, can I just go back, because I've asked the SANFL this, and apparently the Crows, the Port, the SANFL and the AFL all sat around a table when the licence was going to be given back and bought back, and part of the deal with everything was that everything had to be equal. So the Adelaide Oval move had to be equal, the licence price had to be equal, the reserves team came up and the model had to be equal, and you all signed off on that, Kochie.
AFL has never said that.
Well, did the SANFL do it?
Well... sorry?
So what I did...
a lot of people are saying the AFL has insisted the model be the same. They've never insisted on that.
Well, the SANFL did, and you all agreed upon it months ago. And now it's come up, the goalposts have changed.
No, not in my time at all.
Okay. Well,
not in my time at all. Remember when Port Adelaide came about, all those years ago, the AFL side, the board at the time of Port Adelaide